Can you guess where I am? I'm in nature. So I apologize if I seem a little bit distracted. Nature is happening all around me and it's making me nervous. And the occasional human. This episode of NewYorkNik is a special long-distance collaboration with Brooklyn Wonderland.
Hi everyone, this is Brooke from over at Brooklyn Wonderland. That's my YouTube channel. I got asked by my friend Nikki. I got asked by her to do the roommate tag, so this is what we're gonna do today.
As you can see, we're not shooting this video together because we're not together.
We used to be roommates. We were roommates for like 2 years.
We lived together in a 3-bedroom apartment nicknamed the Bakery.
But then she left me to go to New York.
I just had to get away.
I don't care. But anyway.
You ready, Brooksy?
This is going to be very telling. I feel like I'm going to learn a lot about what you think about me. Now I don't know how I feel about this.
Did you guys know each other before you became roommates?
Yes, we did.
Totally. We worked together prior to moving in together.
I guess I my directing scene and we hung out more, and that's when we really became friends. So yeah, we did know each other. Funny story. What did you guys initially think of each other the first time you met? I don't know. That was a long time ago. I'm assuming I thought you were cool. And you're also very hyper, which is funny, because I know a lot of people were like, what is her problem? I was like, whatever, she's cool. That sounds about right. Sounds about what I would say about you.
I remember the first time I ran into Brooke, I didn't really understand how our crew assignments were supposed to work. I didn't know any of these things. I didn't have any of this information. And Brooke had been walking by as I'm talking about my confusion. She was really nice and very helpful. She just jumped in and steered me in the right direction, but I didn't know who she was. I guess our proper introduction was then when I actually started working in the box, because she ended up being the one who was training me. The thought was probably, this person knew more about what I was supposed to do than me. I'm going to trust that they are guiding me in the right direction, and I just hope that I don't screw anything up and everything will be great. I guess I'm self-centered because that was more about me than it was about her, but she was great. How long did it take until you guys became friends?
Longer than it probably should have.
I think it actually kind of took us a while to become friends.
I probably met you your freshman year, and I'm pretty sure I trained you in box office, and I don't know.
Pretty damn sure that she didn't like me.
I had my own friends and was like, whatever, these freshman kids.
I don't think we hung out outside of a working environment until maybe 9 months after we initially met. That's an awkward amount of time.
But then we really became friends when you were in my scene, so that was probably like a year later, so that's awkward. We suck. Question 4. What did do it over? Question 4.
What do you guys usually argue about? The point system when we're playing Fantasy Pretty Little Liars.
We never really argued. We were really good roommates. You were a great roommate. Keep it up.
I think it was just that we would get a little competitive. Oh, well, I deserve points for that.
If we did argue, it was probably something really stupid. It wasn't real arguing. Like, we would argue about TV shows.
When you walk into our place and you go sit in the living room, last I knew our scorecards from wherever we had left off were still on the wall.
And how you make fun of me for watching TV shows.
But I blame her for that one. And Casey. Casey didn't play the game with us, but Casey's the reason I started watching the show.
And how we'd always make fun of Degrassi. I'm not singing the song. Sorry, can't do it. I can't. I'm fighting every urge to sing it for you, but I cannot do it. I'm sorry. Ugh. Oh God, the faces I make.
We were a little nuts. What is one thing that really bothers you that your roommate does?
Nothing. Again, you were a really good roommate. We had like opposite schedules, so when we did see each other, one of us was usually like half asleep. This is getting boring. I have to liven it up a little bit. Nothing. Nothing. I don't know, nothing.
Huh. So, if my bedroom door was closed at the bakery and somebody knocked on it, it would always startle me. Instead of knocking on each other's doors, we would scratch at each other's doors, which sounds really creepy. Because it was a much softer sound, I guess it didn't scare us as badly, so it was like safer. The very few times that she forgot to scratch on my door, and so she knocked on it, and it freaked me out. Yep.
Do you guys both have the same passion for makeup? Hell yes.
It's an oddly worded question.
Actually, usually if I text you these days, it's like, oh, I tried this new makeup.
I know we both like makeup.
Try it, you'll like it.
I know we both wear makeup.
Hooray! Also, do you like my makeup today? Throwing it out there. Throwing it out there.
I'm just gonna move on.
Also, I'm doing this before I go to work, so that's why I'm wearing a blazer. Blazers.
Does your roommate know about your YouTube? Yeah.
I know they have YouTube, obviously. I'm doing this.
She's subscribed to me, and she watches all of my videos.
She knows that I also have one, but it's not active right now. It's just kind of there, and I comment on her videos, is how that works.
I think she thinks they're funny, or something. I don't know. It's windy.
Who spends the most time getting ready in the morning? Probably you. Probably Nick.
I'm pretty sure that Brooke has her system down to a science.
I have like my stuff down to a science, and I can like go, and I'm just always in the get ready and go mode. I have like certain makeup things I'll do, or like hair stuff I do. It like takes me 10 minutes makeup wise. Like hair wise, it still kind of takes me a while.
And I think that's great, and that's probably what's like normal.
So I usually like crawl out of bed and do my hair and throw some makeup on and leave, because I hate mornings. I hate working mornings. But if it's a day where I'm intentionally looking nice for something and like don't have to be there super fast and I can sleep in, probably still Nikki.
I'm ashamed to admit this.
Nikki is always like I'm gonna take my time and get ready like in time, because she always got up earlier than I did to like so she could get ready, and I just don't care. That sounds awful.
It normally takes me close to 3 hours to get ready on an average day. Yeah. What was something that you two didn't notice about each other until becoming roommates? That she was absolutely insane.
Wait, I don't want to say what I just thought of.
But the thing is, I liked that.
Probably, sorry, I was like, do I have cleavage showing? That was completely irrelevant.
I guess I didn't realize just how much of a TV junkie, an internet fiend, a fangirl Brooke was.
Probably how strong you are. I would probably let you lift the house. I feel like you could probably do that.
She's a huge nerd about all of those things, but I mean that in the best way.
It's funny because it's so deceiving, because you don't look like you wouldn't be as strong as you are. I'm pretty sure if you tried, there would be a flipped over tank, and I'd be like, bet you Nikki did that. That made sense in my head.
And I think it's so awesome.
Next question. Do you guys sometimes get fed up with each other from seeing each other too often? I never did.
I don't think we saw each other too often.
We had different schedules, so like I would work during the day and sometimes you'd work at night because you'd have film shoots.
We would actually joke about how we would somehow go days without seeing each other even though we lived together.
So if we run into each other, again, one of us would be like half asleep and I'd be like, I'm going to get a shower, deal with it.
So whenever we had time to just hang out, we took advantage of that. How do you avoid tension while living together?
We're just really good about being around each other. We just know how to give each other space when we need it. I feel like I was just making the weirdest face, so I was thinking, ooh, rough city.
One of us would run over to the other one's bedroom and shut the door behind us. We would vent about Patrice.
That's why we have doors. Usually if my door was closed, because I never leave my door open because I'm that kind of person. But awkwardly right now my door's open. The fuck is this?
Oh, Patrice.
What's one rule you guys had while living together? We never had rules. We didn't need to.
Number one rule, peeing takes priority.
Nikki and I also had a rule where, like, if one of us was in the shower and you had to pee, you just had to knock. Like, whatever. Just, like, give notice. Don't just, like, barge in the bathroom. But that was the best thing ever. Because there are definitely days where I woke up and was like, I have to pee.
It's important.
I have this, like, roof outside of my window. And so, like, my rule, jokingly, was always, don't have sex on the roof. I would hear you and potentially see you. So that would have been really, really awkward. I don't know. I don't think it ever happened. I don't care. And so that was always the joke rule.
How do you deal with sharing a bathroom? Aside from the number one rule, because it's important.
The great thing about our apartment is that the bathroom and, like, the shower were in a separate room from, like, the sink and, like, the plugs. Like, one person could be getting a shower and the other person could be, like, doing their hair and makeup and stuff like that, brushing their teeth. So that was really convenient, and I love that about this apartment.
A lot of the time, I would just be able to see myself in the mirror if I was standing behind her because I'm a lot taller than her.
Do you make 2 separate dinners at night? Not all the time, but, like, for the most part, yeah. Only because, again, different schedules, and, like, if we actually were eating together, it's usually because we went out and got food.
I'd get home and I would say, hey, I'm gonna go here to get food. Do you wanna come? She would abandon her dinner idea, whatever that she was doing, come with me, pick up Subway or Fresh Market, bring it back to our apartment, and then we would situate ourselves so that we could each be enjoying our dinners while we watched some show. Yes, Pretty Little Liars was one of those. Or we would just watch YouTube videos together while we were eating dinner. So dinner was kind of like family bakery time when we could do that. Do you use your roommate's things without asking?
No.
No.
They're both very conscious about that. But we always did, like, ask first, obviously, and then it was never an issue. Oh, hey, can I borrow this? Oh, hey, like, let me use this, and then it would be fine.
And even when I had permission to use her things, I would still feel bad about it. So no.
My only thing is, as long as you ask, I give 0. What are your favorite things that you like to do with each other? Are conversations that would last for like 5 years.
When I would get back to the bakery late at night, I would just want to go back out again.
When we'd like be in one of our rooms and just have like long talks about stuff, and they would last for like 3 hours, not even realizing it.
Brooke would always be game to come with me, no matter where I was going.
And then you would magically play your iTunes from your computer with your phone, and it would confuse the out of me every time.
We weren't usually doing anything particularly extravagant.
But yeah, I'd say them, because they were really fun. They were good times.
We had a lot of random adventures in that sense, so that was really cool. And that was one of my favorite things.
They were good times.
What happens when one person gets sick? Quarantine.
Quarantine. But it was mostly me, because I never really got sick. And that's how I dealt with that. Have you ever thought about having pets or a pet?
Does Salem count?
I always joked that I wanted a rabbit. I really wanted a rabbit. I never got one because I shouldn't be allowed to have living things. I can't even keep plants alive and take care of myself. I shouldn't subject a living thing to that.
Salem was a black cat that belonged to one of our neighbors.
My mom one time got me this plant that's like not supposed to die. Like you water it every couple days and like it's fine, and I killed it.
And a lot of the time Salem would be outside.
And then she got me an orchid, which is like the hardest thing to take care of in the world. But it's kind of alive right now. I mean, I think they're supposed to die right now anyway, so like it's kind of dead, but like it's pretty, sorry, I'm looking at it now. It's pretty alive and kicking right now, so I don't know, I guess no, it's nothing right.
We would play with her, him. I don't remember if it was a boy or a girl. The thing. We would play with the cat.
No. No pets for us. Plus I think you're allergic to like fluffy things, so like that wouldn't really work. God.
What is the funniest thing you've done together?
Oh my god, this is my favorite question because this happened recently. We went to a Whole Foods store, which is in this like shopping center near us because it's delicious. So we were parked in the shopping center and went and we came out and there was this like beat up Jeep. It was like really dirty and had like paint splattered all over it. So if this is the curb, this is the Jeep. It's on the curb. And I was like, what is this? Like, this guy's on the edge of glory. And we left. So we went to Instagram this moment. And so I'm sitting there taking the picture. All of a sudden, this big truck comes barreling in the parking lot and like comes next to this Jeep guy and like does the same thing. He's also like on the curb. And we're like, the is this? What is going on? So then the guy gets out of the truck and goes over and talks to the Jeep. We're like, and all of a sudden this guy is just like in the Jeep. As we're Instagramming this, like when this first happened, there was no one in this Jeep. We could see the driver's side, we could see no one. This guy pops out of the truck and is talking to someone in the Jeep. And the guy in the truck is like looking at us like, the f*** are you doing? And I was like, what is going on? Where did this guy come from? So we bolted to Nikki's car, jumped in her car, and like sped out of the parking lot because we were so embarrassed. Probably one of the funniest, most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to us because we're sitting there like Instagramming and there's a guy in the Jeep that we couldn't see. Oh my god, it's just really funny. I just can't.
We had a weekly tradition of watching Glee together. We had to completely prepare ourselves for the new episode of a show that we seemed to enjoy as much as we complained about it. And we would be screaming either out of joy or irritation, frustration. We would get all riled up, people would hear us and not really know what to make of it. When Brooke and I would gear up for each week and watch the show so attentively and be so emotionally affected by our respective ships because we were fangirls. It was thrilling and embarrassing, and it was wonderful. We were insane. But that was a good time. That is something that I do sincerely miss. Last question.
Has being roommates helped or hurt your relationship?
It ruined my life.
I think it's definitely helped.
I don't think that I would have the friendship that I have with Brooke currently if it wasn't for us having lived together.
We were friends before. I think we're better friends now because we've lived together, so like we know how each other works.
And so I'm very grateful that we did.
I think you're cool. I still think you're cool.
So thanks, Brooksy, for not just being my roommate, but for being a friend.
We talk pretty often. We text a lot. FaceTime or do this. We're doing this. Look at this go. We're communicating through the internet. So that's a thing. So yeah. Hopefully we'll do more stuff like this because this is kind of fun. I will talk to you later, everyone. Bye!
And I would do some type of outro, but I'm not going to do that right now because I have to go enact the #1 rule. Okay.